Here we come quietly to the hem of the Saviour's garment, where long sorrow meets living hope. In the article Jesus Heals from TableTalk Magazine, we are drawn into a tender moment of faith and mercy found in Luke chapter 8, verses 43 through 48, where trembling touch becomes a bold testimony and Christ reveals himself as the compassionate healer of both body and soul. This brief meditation invites weary hearts to look again to Jesus, who never turns away sincere faith and always sends his children forth in peace. Now for our reading. Now a woman, having a flow of blood for 12 years, who had spent all her livelihood on physicians and could not be healed by any, came from behind and touched the border of his garment. And immediately her flow of blood stopped. And Jesus said, "Who touched me?" When all denied it, Peter and those with him said, "Master, the multitudes throng and press you, and you say, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus said, "Somebody touched me, for I perceived power going out from me." Now when the woman saw that she was not hidden, she came trembling, and falling down before him, she declared to him in the presence of all the people the reason she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And he said to her, "Daughter, be of good cheer. Your faith has made you well. Go in peace." Luke chapter 8, verses 43 through 48. When you find yourself, or a loved one, facing physical or emotional distress, where do you turn? Doctors, family members, church family, friends and neighbours are often helpful, but first we should cry out to God, the ultimate healer. In Luke chapter 8, verses 43 through 48, we learn of a woman who needed Jesus' help in the midst of physical and emotional suffering. Jesus had just returned to Galilee, where a crowd welcomed him. Among the crowd there was a woman who had had a discharge of blood for 12 years. Since this discharge rendered her unclean, her only hope to live a normal life again was to be healed. Sadly, she had spent all she had on physicians, but no one had been able to heal her. You can imagine, then, why she touched the fringe of Jesus' garment. She believed that he could heal her, and she hoped that he would. Upon her touch, Jesus felt the power go out from him, for she had been healed. So, in the midst of the pressing crowd, Jesus asked, "Who was it that touched me?" Though many would have accidentally touched him in the crowded street, Jesus knew that one person had touched him with faith and hope. Realizing that she couldn't remain anonymous, the woman tremblingly fell down before him and declared in the presence of all the people why she had touched him and how she had been immediately healed. This is great faith. Jesus gave this woman an opportunity to testify of his goodness and bring him glory, and she did not falter. She boldly testified of Jesus' healing power. In response to this woman's words, Jesus tenderly addressed her with a term of endearment, "Daughter." Then he told her that her faith in him had made her well. Finally, he told her to go in peace. Every believer is a son or daughter of God. While we were once unclean, with no cure for our disease, Jesus carried our sorrows and was pierced for our transgressions so that we would be healed. In response, let us tremblingly fall down at the feet of Jesus and worship him. Let us declare to others that Jesus has cleansed us from our sin and made us new creatures. When you and I experience God's goodness in the midst of trials, let us testify of his grace, love, and power. Sadly, we live in a world that is broken because of the fall. Therefore, we will all suffer. Furthermore, the Bible does not promise that we will be healed of our emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual pain on this side of glory. We know, however, that in the new heaven and the new earth we will be completely healthy. Therefore, let us look by faith to the one who is and who is to come, and to the holy city where death, mourning, crying, and pain will be no more. Sarah Ivel is a Bible teacher, conference speaker, and graduate of Dallas Theological Seminary. She is author of several books, including The God Who Hears. She writes regularly at sarahivel.com. This concludes our reading. Thank you for listening.